Hi guys. Hi guys. I'm going off for my morning walk. It finally stopped raining every day, so I think the rainy season's over. I just started walking again about a week or so ago, so thought I'd take you on a walk with me this morning. I'll show you around a little bit here. You can see there's a cement road I left, and I'm walking down this road here. That's where I always go when I go for my walks. Finally the rain stopped. That's why I hadn't gone on my walks. It was raining every morning or else drizzling or something, but it started to clear up. So like I said, I think the rainy season's over. There's some of the houses along the way. Taking my trusty walking stick slash dog stick. Everybody's got dogs here. Everybody's got 2 or 3 dogs or more, and not much of a problem, but you never know. We've had, I think since we lived here for 5 years, we've had 2 or 3 cases of rabid dogs here that the neighbors had got after and, you know, take care of them. And there's I don't think there's, well, there is a place that you can take to have the shots, but I don't think people do that here. The dogs just kind of run wild. And that's the thing about the Philippines, a lot of dogs, and I think that's one of the major cause for motorcycle fatalities here is hitting dogs. So you got to watch out for the dogs. Matter of fact, Marissa hit one not too long ago. Not only do you have to watch out for the drivers, you got to watch out for the dogs. That's why I don't drive. Here, when we had the multi-cab, I drove all the time. Marissa didn't drive then because it was a manual shift, and she didn't drive a manual shift. So now that we got the car, I turn the driving over to her. Not that I can't drive, I just choose not to. For several reasons. I don't know if I did this once before. Showed you some of the. This is a house that somebody started and never finished. This road traveled pretty much.
Hello,
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning. People remember me here from months ago when I was walking every day. Anyway, this is one of the homes that somebody started. Something happened, they never finished it. There's quite a few of those along the way. I got a little bit of a late start. It's about 7 o'clock right now. Usually I get out and start by 6 o'clock, because by 8 o'clock it starts getting warm. It's a little warmer some days, as long as the humidity's low. It's not too bad, kind of comfortable. Humidity's a little high this morning. I'm going to show you some of these houses along the way this time. Kind of rocky in this road, so you got to watch where you're going. But especially when you get old, you don't want to trip over a rock. But there are snakes around here. I think it was a week or so ago. On our road, there was a dead cobra in the road. I think we've had about, I don't know, 7 or 8 incidents where we've killed snakes in our yard. One time it was a cobra, the other times it was something else. Marissa identifies the snakes a little better than I do. Morning. All the kids are going to school this time of the day. I'm walking a little slower carrying this camera and my stick at the same time. It's kind of awkward, but I didn't want to leave the house without the stick. Most of these dogs along here got used to me when I was walking before and didn't give me much trouble, but you never know. This guy's doing an addition to his house right here. He's been working on it for a year. So a little at a time, whenever they have the extra money to buy materials. Morning. I think last time I walked here, I showed you this house over here to the right that was started, but it was started years ago. I think I was here ever since we moved here, and you can see it, and they kept it cleared off once in a while, but you can see now the vines have just about taken over. Not much of the house showing right now. Hey, morning. A little busy this time of day. 6 o'clock, there's not as much traffic around. Yeah, when it's clear, very pretty here. You know, you can see the mountains. The rice fields are real green. Now, they just harvested this field here, I think. Let me get a little closer and see. So this is where the road splits. That one dead ends straight ahead. This one here turns and goes back to the highway.
Camera?
Yeah, Kimber.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So cute.
Yeah. Good morning.
I want to.
No, they didn't harvest this rice field yet, but it doesn't look very healthy. Sometimes it depends on how much fertilizer and pesticide they can afford to put on their field. But now there is some rice in there, but it's not, doesn't look real healthy. Yeah, there's the house back over there that just passed, and the drainage canal here. So a lot of these places, these rice fields, it's a good field if they have irrigation, because then they can do 2 full crops a year. Maybe sometimes more, but usually it's 2. But some of these rice fields don't have irrigation, depending on the weather, so their crop is just berries. Marissa's dad, he's got one rice field that has irrigation, and the other rice field that depends on the weather, and that one, when it rains real hard, it gets flooded, and so that crop on that field is iffy sometimes, you know. But the other field he just harvested, that has irrigation, so he got a good harvest this year. Got 105 sacks out of a hectare, which is very good. There's another house right here. Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm
Good.
fine.
Yeah, good. All in all, the people are very friendly. Just don't get them on a set of wheels and the whole attitude changes. Yeah, that's the lack of driver's education here. Although the government is starting to require that they do a seminar before they renew or get their license. So they're making an attempt to improve it. But you can see, we've showed you a couple times, when there's a LTO check, trucks and motorcycles are lined up alongside the road waiting And this, sometimes they wait for hours. Because here, because they don't have the proper papers, or they don't have a license. But here they can't give them a ticket if they're not actually driving. So that's why they stop and wait till the LTO leaves. Even though it's obvious they have been driving, the law here is they can't give them a ticket if they're not actually driving. Pretty dense right around here. Morning.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know if they understand when I say how you doing, but at least they smile and nod. And it's just a friendly greeting. The lady that lives in this house right here, she's an older lady and single. I don't know if her husband died or what, but I think she owns this part of this, at least part of this rice field right up here that we're coming to. She's usually out in the yard working, but here's the rice field they just harvested. You see the mist, the clouds still kind of hanging over the mountains there. That's what it usually is in the morning here. You know, kind of misty, the clouds hanging in, because we're in a valley, Compostela Valley in Mindanao, where we live, and so a lot of rice fields. This house here on the right has been vacant for, I think, a couple of years, or a year and a half. I don't know anything about the owner or whether the bank took it back, but it's not a bad house. In the back there's a little garage like structure, but it's been empty for a long time. I don't know, like I said, who the owner is, but there was people living in it. Off to the left here is a trash collection for the neighborhood. Every so often you'll see one of these places. This is where the people come and deposit their garbage, and they come around and pick up the garbage. And I think the brown guy charges them some nominal fee. I mean, it's not even $5, I think. We have the garbage truck stop at our house, and they come out once a month or something like that. So we separate the cans and the plastic and the papers, and I think we pay 200 pesos for them to come pick up everything. And if we got any other garbage, trash or anything like that, they take that too. And then there's guys come around asking for cans or metal. They recycle it, so there's not a problem getting your garbage collected here. There's a little settlement down at the end of this road, a few houses down there. The road doesn't go anywhere, just back there where the houses are. This house here, I know, see, they've made provisions when they started this, I think, to build a two-story, but that hasn't happened. It's pretty big house, man. But they're you know, everybody here puts bars on their windows. I mean, it's more of a traditional thing, but it's also, I guess, to keep people from breaking in. I mean, it never stops anybody if they really want to get in, but just a preventative measure, because there's no There's no regular police patrols in areas like this. They come out if you call them for some reason, but usually people here, they don't call the police. They kind of settle it amongst themselves. And I know somebody lives here because I've seen people there, but not very often, man. It might be their second home. Some people build a home out in the province and use it as a second home, and they live in the city. Yeah, like I said, that's a big house, man. Got an air conditioning system right there. But I don't know where they are. Most of the time they're not here. Oh, there's somebody there. Morning. Very large rice field. Big rice field. Yeah, and Buntaran, the closest town to us, and we're about 2 or 3 minutes away from downtown, which is 2-3 miles or something like that. That is in, they used to call it Compostela Valley. Now they call it Davao de Oro. And it's about 30 minutes north of Tagum. I researched the population in Butron one time, and I can't really remember what it was, but a few tens of thousands. Not a very big town. And here's one of the irrigation canals here. Hey, good morning. This guy's growing something here, starting to grow something here. He's got a little garden out in front. I don't know what he's growing there. These dogs up here can get a little aggressive sometimes at this house. They just built this house about a year ago. So it's actually a very nice house. Looks like a nice house on the outside. And the dogs are growling already. And somebody bought this little piece of property in there, started a house there. They put the fence up first. Yeah. Dogs are growling. But yeah, not a bad house. A lot of people started moving in here within the last year. Actually, we got more neighbors than we want right now, but there wasn't many houses there when 5 years ago when we came here. Going to school. They don't really have a real estate office around here. Now somebody's planning on making a bridge here to access that property. So evidently they got plans, but that's what this is for. Make a bridge over there so they can access their property. Maybe they're going to build a house there. I'm trying to think of all the questions that you may have, and I obviously can't think of them all, but I'm trying. So you can see the water lines right there coming from their source to their houses. I wouldn't think the source would be that far away, but it looks like it is. Morning. You can see how the edges of the road here are all cut back and cleaned. This must be a different paroch from where the one we live in, because the one we live in, it's all overgrown both sides of the road, you know, and I mean snakes can come out of there at any time. So this is the way it should be, like this right here. And more water lines here. I'm curious to see where the source is. Way up here? I would think it would be closer than that, but the problem is here in the mornings we don't have any water pressure. It just trickles out of the faucet. And people here are trying to petition the government to do something about our water quality. Not only is the quality of the water bad, the infrastructure is not very good. But they didn't seem to have much luck yet with the government coming in and upgrading it or doing a cleaning water system. I know in Davao you can drink water right out of the faucet, but you can't here. And you can see from our past video, you can't even wash your car with this water. It stains it. So high iron content in the water. We've tried filters. We had a filter system on our house. It got plugged up every week. Had to change the filters, which is too expensive. So we disconnected the filter system. Personally, I don't like using the well water because, you know, everybody's got a septic here. So who knows where they put their septic? Who knows if, you know, the groundwater gets in with their septic water, and I don't feel comfortable using a well water here. You have to, what you'd have to do is dig a deep well. And we've been contemplating that, but we haven't done it, so we just make do with what we've got here for now. There's so many things that we could do to upgrade it, everything, but you know, we'd like to do several solar panels, but that's expensive. So someday maybe. This is the beginning of a little community here. This guy's a bottle distributor. I don't know if he's actually got Coke in there. Well, it looks like he does. So he's got a little Coke distributorship going. Probably for these local sorry stores, you know, supplies them with Coke. I think this guy builds fences too, and eventually we're gonna talk to him about building one of these around our place. But this guy here's got heavy equipment back there. It would be nice if they paved all these roads, but we're lucky we got ours paved. I think they paved it a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe. A bunch of empty Coke bottles back there. You can see they come along once in a while and grade the road when it gets too bad. I think that fence builder, he built this fence for these people too, because I saw him here working not too long ago. There's some pretty big houses here. This is how people live. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's got going here. Looks like he owns some of those buses. I think those buses are cheaper to take than a regular bus, and they go from here to some of these little communities around here and back. Hey, there's some nicer houses here. Big mistake we made was, well, we weren't here when the house was started, so they did bring in a little bit of dirt. The thing I would do again is bring in a lot of dirt, because you see how some of these houses here, see, they're lower than the road. So, and then when they cement the road, they don't excavate any of this. All they do is bring in more rock and put cement on top of it, and that makes it even higher. Dogs. These guys here, they put tile all over the outside of their house. Not a bad idea, then concrete doesn't get all gray like that up there. Because it's easier to clean. You don't have to paint it. See, here's another trash pickup spot here. Yeah, I don't know what this big structure is here. They use metal trusses, we should have done that too. There's septic tank services. We'll have to write that number down and call them next time we need service. So I don't know, this might be they're going to build a drying place to dry your rice. They have a lot of those around. And you can see, this is the highway up here, so now is where I turn around and head back, and it's starting to get a little humid. So, hope you enjoyed the tour. Thanks for coming along. Bye, guys.